Hello everyone, welcome to the quick learning session of Classmore. So we have a topic today, Equalization Levy. So let us start. So let us try to understand what is Equalization Levy. This was basically introduced by the government of India in 2016, and the idea behind this was basically to bring some of the digital services into the ambit of income tax. And if we understand the concept of equalization levy, it is a tax, or it is a direct tax basically, which needs to be withheld, or you can say deducted at the time of payment by a service recipient. So one of the party to this tax is a service recipient, and that service recipient should be resident of India. And the second party to it is the service provider, who should be a non-resident of India. So if there is one person who is resident of India and he is getting some services from a person or a company which is a non-resident of India, then this and these services are specified services, as we will discuss in upcoming slide, then there will be a tax that needs to be deducted by a service recipient. So what are the conditions? As I mentioned, the payment should be made by a resident of India to a non-resident service provider. It should be made for specified services, and there are also certain exceptions need to be taken into consideration while working on these on equalization levy. Now coming to the scope, if we talk about section 165, there are certain services specified. So these services are online advertisement. For example, if you're using services of Facebook, YouTube, etc., and you're making payments to these companies, then it will be covered under 165. Any provision of digital servicing, advertising space, or facility services for online advertisement, then this will fall under 165. There are certain exceptions to it. If the supplier, it means the non-resident who is supplying the services, has a PE in India, and such services are effectively connected with the such PE, then these will not fall under 165. What does it mean? For example, if Facebook has a PE in India, I'm just giving an example, and Facebook is providing services to such permanent establishment, then it will not fall under 165. And if the aggregate amount does not exceed 1 lakh rupee, then also it will not be part of this 165 provisions. And the payment for the specified service is not for the purpose of carrying out business or profession. So the objective should be to carry out business and profession. If such payments are not done with that objective, this will not fall under 165. Now, if you look at the services included in 165A, then these are online sale of goods owned by e-commerce operator, online provision of services provided by e-commerce operator. So we can see they have increased the scope. They have just multifold the overall scope of this entire equalization levy with this introduction of 165A. The third one is online sale of goods or provision of services, or both, facilitated by the e-commerce operator. And there are certain exceptions here also. First exception is similar to what we read in 165. And if there is any levy which is already um, enforceable in 165, then it will not fall under 165A. And if the total sales or turnover or gross received from such suppliers less than 2 crore, it means the supplier uh, who is making such kind of services, and the total sale of that supplier is less than 2 crore during the previous year, then it will not fall under 165A. Now, if you look at the rate of tax and compliance procedure under these two sections, let us discuss them one by one. If we talk about rate of tax, The rate of tax is 6% in case of 165 and 2% in case of 165A. Who is going to pay it? In case of 165, it should be the service recipient, and in case of 165A, it should be the service provider or e-commerce operator. Now, what is the due date? The due date is 7th of the month immediately succeeding the month in which the levy is deducted. Suppose you have made a deduction in January, then it should be paid on or before 7th of the February. But in case of 165A, the 7th of the month immediately succeeding the quarter. It means here the flexibility is given to the e-commerce operator to file to deposit this on a quarterly basis. If you talk about the penalties, there are certain penalties also. If you fail to pay the or deduct the equalization levy, then under 165 it would be 100% of the levy. That will be a penalty. If you fail to file the return, 100 rupees per day. If you make a payment which is delayed payment or return, then interest will be levied at the rate of 1% per month. Similarly, we have certain penalties in 165A. Mostly they are same, except in case of failure to pay or deposit the tax to the government, it would be 1,000 rupee per day up to 100% of equalization levy. Now, if you look at the due date of filing return, it is 30th June in both the cases. That is, 30th June immediately following the financial year. So that was all about equalization levy. It was a very brief explanation to all the provisions. I hope this session is useful for all of you. So thank you so much. This session is helpful to you. So you can just let us know with your comments. Thank you so much.